I'm going to take a bit of an unpopular position here and say that there's a pretty good chance that Johnny Depp may lose this trial. And there are two reasons for that. Both of them are legal and both of them are slightly technical in the legal sense. The first reason I think that he may lose is because truth is a defense to defamation. The second reason I think he may lose is because I think he's going to have a hard time showing damages or, at the very least, a clear causal connection between Amber Heard's public statements and the downfall of his career. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Joe Pometto, Joe the lawyer. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Check out the links below. Also, if you want to check out more great content from me, Joe Pometto, practicing attorney in Pittsburgh, PA. So the first reason, truth is a defense to defamation, goes like this. Johnny Depp's lawsuit against Amber Heard is a defamation lawsuit. There's a couple different types of defamation as we think of them. There's libel, there's slander, there's defamation. They are all sort of the same thing, though slightly different in form, which basically says that under American law, the law of most states in the United States, you can sue somebody and recover if they said something that was false, and if that false statement damaged your reputation in a compensable way, in a way that you can show that it damaged your business, your career, and that you lost money because of it. Now, the thing is, like I said, when I told you what defamation was, it has to be a false statement, has to be false. And an absolute defense to defamation in the United States is truth. If the defendant, if the person being sued can show that their statements were true or had possibly even some element of truth to it, it's very likely that a jury will not find in favor of the person bringing the lawsuit, who in this case is Johnny Depp. So Johnny Depp suing Amber Heard. She released an article in 2018 where she claimed, not directly but indirectly, that she was in an abusive relationship with Johnny Depp. Now, the testimony of Mr. Depp and the testimony of Amber Heard, and I haven't watched all the witnesses, have shown that to a certain degree, there has been abuse on both sides here. Now, some of you may say, oh, Amber Heard, her testimony is terrible. She comes off as fake. But I think it's kind of hard to say that everything that she's saying is a lie. And if she admitted, if some of the abuse, if the jury finds that some of the abuse that she claims was in fact true, even if a lot of it wasn't, that may serve as an absolute defense to the defamation claim, because then her lawyers will argue that article that she released had truth to it. It may not have been the whole truth. It may have been some of the truth. But if there was enough truth in there, Johnny Depp could lose this trial. Now, I also believe that he admitted to certain levels of contact with him and Amber Heard, grabbing her at times. I mean, he can't deny the text messages that he made. So the other thing, too, is the article itself, the Vanity Fair article, is fairly ambiguous about the type of abuse that occurred, the frequency of it, etc. And so that may help Amber Heard's lawyers argue. They say, look, this article here just describes abuse generally. How can you, the jurors sitting there, say that Johnny Depp wasn't abusive in his text messages, that he wasn't abusive in certain statements, or that he wasn't abusive on some occasions, even if a lot of it was initiated by Amber Heard. So the fact that she can use truth or even some truth as a defense to defamation is going to make this hard for Johnny Depp to win this case, even though I agree that Depp's testimony has come off as much more truthful than Amber Heard's testimony. The next thing that he's got to deal with is damages. So Johnny Depp has to make a causal connection to the decline in his career, his reputation, and his finances to the article or to the statements of Amber Heard. And what Amber Heard's attorneys have done is have tried to show that his career arc was already on the downfall. I believe he had made statements about not wanting to work with Disney, who had done Pirates of the Caribbean, and had also done, I think, the other Alice in Wonderland movies. So if her attorneys, regardless of the abuse or the frequency of the abuse or the type of the abuse, which all the testimony and all the coverage has been focused on, regardless of all that, its truth or its falsity, Johnny Depp's lawyers need to show that that article caused the downfall of his career. If the jury doesn't believe that, it doesn't matter whether the abuse happened or not or how frequent it was. Because if you can't connect that Amber Heard statements to the downward arc of his career, he doesn't have a case. He can't show damages. So what Amber Heard's lawyers have done is they've elicited evidence that showed that he had issues with Disney even prior to the article being released. I believe he had made a statement that he didn't want to work with Disney even prior to the article being released. So then how can Johnny Depp turn around and say, well, I would have done more movies. I would have done more Pirates movies. I would have done more Alice in Wonderland movies if this article didn't come out? He may have a difficult time showing that. And I'll admit, I haven't watched all the trial to say that. But that's a key piece that you want to focus on, because the jury may buy Depp's testimony, may say Amber Heard was the abuser here. But then given that, even if they accept that, they can say, well, but the article didn't really damage his career. It was already going downhill. And perhaps the fact that he gained a reputation for doing drugs, alcohol, being rowdy on a set, which is other evidence that was elicited by Amber Heard's testimony. Maybe those are the real reasons that his career went downward. And that's going to be difficult for Johnny Depp's attorneys to contend with. So I think in two ways he could lose this trial, either one separately or both together. Is number one, the jury may say, well, there was some abuse, even if it's not nearly what Amber Heard said, and therefore her article was truthful. Or they may say, yeah, the abuse existed, but the article didn't cause the downward arc of Johnny Depp's career. And remember, the person bringing the case has the burden of proof. So it's harder to prove something than it is to disprove it, right? They have to prove by a preponderance of the evidence. So I think there's a decent chance Depp could lose this case, and not necessarily because he gave bad testimony. I thought his testimony was good. It appeared to be truthful. And not necessarily because Amber Heard gave good testimony, because her testimony seemed to be a bit of a train wreck. He could lose the case regardless. All right, let's see what happens over the coming weeks. I will have more videos on this topic. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Joe Pometto, Joe the Lawyer. Thank you very much.